Hi, my name is Bret Davis, and I'm the legacy lawyer. Today, what I want to discuss with you are 3 reasons you should have a will. Now, the first reason is basically to memorialize your desires and your wishes. Basically, it's where are your assets going to go and how are they going to get there. The second reason is basically to guide or funnel those assets into a trust vehicle. And we see this in testamentary type trusts all the time. Now, the reason that you want to do this is for asset protection, so that that asset that you worked hard for all your life can go to your loved ones. Now, the motivation here might be is that you say, look, I don't want my assets to have to go through probate. It's costly. And so you have heard and you go out and you designate, that is, you design for where your IRA or your 401k or even your bank account, where it might go. And that's called a designated beneficiary. It might be the primary beneficiary or the secondary beneficiary. But the point is that you designate through that 401k where you want that to go. Now here's the issue. The issue comes back to asset protection. So if you just designate as the beneficiary, let's say your adult child, then that child inheriting those assets of that IRA or that 401k, and they're not going to be protected in certain situations where, let's say, the adult child starts a business, works hard at the business, but the business tanks or goes south. That might be subject to judgment somehow, or a lawsuit. Could be those assets subject to judgment, or even in a divorce. Now, nobody goes into a marriage thinking that they're going to divorce, but sadly, so many of us have had that experience. And so those assets that you never intended to wind up in some unknown person's hands, or a person who's prevailed in a lawsuit, gets that hard-earned money that you made during your lifetime. Now that leads me into the third reason why you should have a will. And it basically designates who you want to administer your estate. That is, who you want to oversee the distribution of both your real property and your personal property. Now, the beauty of a will is the fact that you can request for an independent executor. And that is that you're telling the court that, court, you don't want day to day or project to project or step by step oversight, but rather you trust that executor to operate independently in the affairs of your estate. And so what that does, it drives down the cost of probate, and it drives down and compresses the time in probate, which were probably the fears to begin with and why you wanted to designate those beneficiaries directly to your loved one. But you need a trust to do that. And so if you had other questions about this, please call me. Remember, I'm the legacy lawyer, Bret Davis. Thank you for stopping by.